Deep beneath the Vatican, in 1941, a team of archaeologists was secretly digging where they weren't supposed to be.
Dig deep, my sons. Uncover the bones of the rock upon which he built his church.
They were looking for a ghost. For 2,000 years, the most powerful institution on earth has claimed its authority rests on the body of one man. If he's not down there, the entire claim of the Catholic Church collapses. But if he is down there, we have to ask an even harder question. How did a fisherman who was uneducated, impulsive, and who famously betrayed his own master end up becoming the vicar of Christ? To find the answer, we have to decode a linguistic riddle and interpret a message scratched into a red wall. The story you think you know is wrong. What we found in that grave changes everything. We tend to think of Saint Peter as a statue, but the historical Simon was a disaster.
Clear the street, now! Move it!
He lived in Capernaum, a border town filled with tax disputes and Roman oppression. He wasn't a religious scholar. He was a small business owner with a short fuse. The Gospels don't hide this. They highlight it. He is the guy who speaks before he thinks. He is the guy who promises to die for you at dinner.
Lord, I am ready to go with you to prison and to death.
And runs away before dessert. His first encounter with Jesus was an intervention. Simon was a professional fisherman, and he had failed. He and his crew had fished all night and caught nothing. They were washing their empty nets. Jesus, a carpenter turned itinerant preacher, tells the experienced fisherman,
"Put out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch."
Jesus walks past the scholars, past the priests, and picks him. Why? Why build a global kingdom on a foundation that cracks under pressure?
Do not be afraid. From now on, you will catch men.
It was a promotion he did not deserve, and he got the first performance review almost immediately.
Hold on to the mast! I can't swim! I don't want to die! Stop screaming and help me! Brace yourselves! Another wave is coming! Look! It's a ghost!
Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid.
Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water! Come!
And for a few steps he does it. He walks on water. The fisherman steps onto the ultimate contradiction. But the miracle only holds as long as his concentration does. Then the ultimate irony. This man, whose Aramaic name means rock, looks away from the source of his strength and sees the storm. He fails the simple physics test of faith. He sinks.
O you of little faith, why did you doubt?
This man who could walk on water but couldn't keep his focus for 10 steps was still just Simon, a rock that sank. In one terrifying moment, he demonstrated divine capacity, followed by total collapse. Jesus was building a movement on unstable potential.
Truly you are the Son of God.
So the question remains, staring across 2,000 years of history, it seems impossible. How does a foundation that cracks under pressure become the seat of the most powerful man on earth? The answer lies in a specific location, a place so dark and pagan that no rabbi should ever have taken his students there. Jesus marches them straight into the heart of idolatry. Caesarea Philippi, a massive rock cliff looming over a cave known to the locals as the Gates of Hades. Standing here against the backdrop of false gods, Jesus drops the bomb.
You are the Messiah. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it.
Stop here. This is where history breaks in two. Protestants and Catholics have been fighting over this sentence for 500 years. The debate centers on two Greek words. The Protestant argument, Jesus calls Simon Petros, a small stone, but says he will build the church on Petra, the massive rock. They argue the rock isn't Peter, it's Peter's confession that Jesus is Lord. The church is built on the truth, not the man. The Catholic argument: Jesus spoke Aramaic, not Greek. In Aramaic, the word is Kepha. You are Kepha, and on this Kepha I will build my church. No distinction. The man is the rock, but a foundation is useless without the authority to build. And that brings us to the keys. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. This is his job title. In the ancient world, the king held the power. But when the king was away, the steward held the keys. This is precisely the role described in Isaiah 22. Whatever the steward opened, no one could shut. Jesus is installing Peter as the prime minister of the kingdom of God. This key granted the authority to bind and loose, meaning he could establish doctrine, determine moral law, and speak with divine permission. He has the name, Rock. He has the authority, Keys. He is ready to lead. Or so he thinks, because Peter is about to find out exactly how weak he really is.
Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me.
Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand, that doth betray me.
The one I kiss is the man! Arrest him!
Peter would break his promise, but Judas would break his master.
There he is! Seize him and hold him securely!
The volatile fisherman replaces divine instruction with human zeal, proving his instability. The Last Supper passes. The arrest happens. Peter tried to use the sword to save the king. He believed the keys gave him the authority to enforce the kingdom. He used his volatility to defend the foundation. And Jesus makes it clear, the kingdom is not built on violence, and the foundation is not built on zealotry. The sword must drop.
My Lord!
Having failed the test of the sword, Peter immediately faces the test of loyalty.
What have I done?
He's cold, he's scared. Then, the most devastating moment in the Bible.
This man was also with him.
Woman, I know him not.
3 times he denies the king. The first pope is now a traitor. This is the paradox. Jesus knew Peter's name meant rock, and yet chose him knowing he was fundamentally unreliable. Why? Because the keys and the rock were only the promise. But do you come back from that? But the story doesn't end in the dark. It ends on a beach. Peter, ashamed and broken, goes back to fishing. He assumes his career as the apostle is over. But there is a stranger on the shore. Jesus knew the test of authority would not take place on a rock or in a court, but here on a beach, in the quiet aftermath of a miracle. He chose a charcoal fire, the exact source of warmth near which Peter made his 3 denials.
Come and eat breakfast.
To stage the final, necessary healing.
Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? Yes, Lord, you know that I love you.
3 times Peter denied.
Feed my lambs.
3 times Jesus asks. The 3 denials of the foundation are cancelled out by 3 declarations of love. This is the paradox of the papacy. Peter isn't the rock because he is strong. He is the rock because he knows what it is to be broken, restored, and committed to radical love. Years later, Peter is in Rome. He is no longer the brash fisherman. He is the bishop of the underground church. But the Emperor Nero has lost his mind. He blames the Christians for the great fire of Rome. There is an ancient legend, the Acts of Peter, that says the old instinct kicked in one last time. Peter tried to run. He was fleeing the city on the Appian Way to escape execution. But suddenly, he stops. He has a vision of Jesus walking toward Rome, toward the flames.
Where are you going, Lord?
I'm going to Rome to be crucified again.
The man who ran from the charcoal fire finally stopped running. He returned to the city. He was arrested. And when they brought out the cross, the rock made one final request.
I am not worthy to die like my Lord.
He was crucified upside down. The volatile fisherman had finally become the unmovable foundation. He was buried in a shallow, poor man's grave on the side of Vatican Hill, in a necropolis filled with pagan bones. And there he stayed, hidden, forgotten. For nearly 2,000 years, people walked right over him, until 1941. The man was forgotten, but the world was at war. In 1941, as the Eastern Front tore Europe apart and battleships clashed on every ocean, Pope Pius XII seized the opportunity of global chaos to make a secret, daring decision. Digging under a 40,000-ton engineering marvel, whose dome was anchored 82 feet deep. The plan was surgical madness. They'd tunnel in absolute secrecy for 8 years, following the precise centerline established by Constantine to find the final resting place of the fisherman, confirming the physical whereabouts of the man who became the most powerful figure in history. If they missed the mark by 1 degree or breathed too hard on the wrong beam, the dome falls. A tiny team of excavators dug down, risking collapse, until the entire basilica above them groaned with the weight. They hit earth and had broken through to the buried streets of ancient Rome, the necropolis. And then, right beneath the massive towering altar, they hit it, a simple red wall. Scratched into that cheap plaster were thousands of whispered prayers, the final testament of the earliest persecuted church. But the real secret was hidden in a niche beside it. Inside, wrapped in a brittle purple cloth stitched with gold, were bones. These weren't pagan, they were the bones of a fisherman, and the final, undeniable proof was scratched right above them. It read, "Peter is here."
Has the tomb of St. Peter really been found? To that question, the answer is beyond all doubt.
Yes. The tomb of the Prince of the Apostles has been found.
The physical rock, the man who knew what it was to be broken and restored, is literally holding up the largest church in the world. So, was he the first pope? A man who could not catch fish without help, who sank in the water, who denied his best friend, became the most enduring leader in Western history. Peter's story teaches us one thing: God does not call the qualified, he qualifies the called.